What a historic team, because we're using the first Wo-Chien team that ended up making top 8. Yes, Wo-Chien is finally shining, got top 8 at the Hartford Regional Championship, and we're going to see how this team performs. This team features Wo-Chien with Glamora, Iron Hands, and then a fast offensive mode with Talonflame, Speed Booster, Fluttermane, and Chi-Yu. The goal of the team is to chip opponents to be cleaned up by Fluttermane and or Chi-Yu after taking residual damage. The Wo-Chien allows for a slow game with Pollen Puff and Leech Seed healing while supporting the normally frail special attackers. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they will be linked in the description. Dragonite, Gothitelle, Xianpao, Screamtail, Dragapult, and Iron Hands. This is one heck of a team. I feel like this is probably Encore Disable shenanigans, as that's not great for me, actually. That's really not great for me. Okay. So I'm a little bit worried about how this game's gonna play, because they can do Encore Disable stuff. They have an offensive mode too, and I'm not exactly super happy about either. Like, this is actually a really tough team to handle. Their trapping ability is really solid. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. I think I want to go Glamora, because if I can get a Toxic up, that would be really nice. Yeah, I would really like a Toxic off into Screamtail especially, but Gothitelle would be really nice too. I think I want to go Hands to support it, or the Wo-Chien immediately, because Wo-Chien doesn't care about Dragapult nearly as much. I think I will try it. I want to lead Flutter, but I don't want to use my Speed Booster immediately, but I might have to. It's a tricky team. This is definitely not an easy matchup. I think it's Hands, Flutter in the back. I could see Hands leading, but the thing is, I'd probably want to go for Fake Out, and the thing is, I really don't want to click Fake Out against their team. I really don't, because if they get Screamtail in a moment with Encore, it's not great. So let's see. It's a tricky team. They have really some interesting options that they have here, because they have the trapping ability, they have the hand setup as well, and then they have the offensive mode with the Xianpao. So they got a lot of tricks. Let's see, gonna be the Iron Hands, Gothitelle. Okay, so my Wo-Chien is not a great option here, unfortunately, lead wise, but okay. It's not awful. We want to build up towards a position where Flutter can clean up. I'm gonna go for a Toxic immediately into the Gothitelle. I'm gonna Leech Seed the Hands, because we get the most health from the Iron Hands if we are able to accomplish this. If they go for Fake Out, this is fine. If they Trick Room, not amazing. Unfortunately, we're trapped. I should probably double check, actually, if we're trapped. I can try to switch out my Glamora the next turn to make sure that this isn't like competitive Gothitelle, because if I can switch, it actually is a huge advantage. But I'd imagine that your Shadow Tag on this team, actually, I bet Gothitelle would make a lot of sense too. I don't know. We got Toxic off into the Gothitelle, so Gothitelle will eventually faint. Leech Seed gonna come out into the Hands as well. Okay, cool. Let's see, what are you going for? Psychic immediately into Glamora makes sense. Okay. And Drain Punch. Okay. Wo-Chien able to take that. That's cool. Able to get leftovers and Leech Seed recovery. So yeah, not a bad turn. I wonder if this is Trick Room Gothitelle on this team. That's the one I'm trying to figure out. I do gain a bunch of health from this Leech Seed, however, yeah. And they are Toxic. Okay. I could also Earth Power to try to put them in range of Flutter. I like the idea of Earth Power here, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Let's Earth Power to Hands. And let's go for Protect. If they KO Glamora, the Toxic Spikes get set up, and I think it's like a pretty fair advantage. I think they're going to probably just try to Psychic again. And Drain Punch knock out the Wo-Chien. Oh, I should probably check this competitive, but it doesn't affect the match right now, because I'm fine with sacking. Earth Power going to come out. Good damage to Hands. Oh, that's a critical hit. So that's Assault Vest 100%. Psychic going to come out. Okay. Into the Glamora. The thing is, their mode for Encore Disable is a lot weaker if they do have the Screamtail in the back, mainly because I did Toxic the Gothitelle, so I'll actually be able to switch in the future. Drain Punch. Okay. Getting a bunch of recovery back with the leftovers plus the Leech Seed, and now I think I could go for Foul Play into the Hand slot and Moonblast as well. Yeah. Let's see. Do I want to go anything else here? I don't think so. I could go hands, but I don't think it's worth going hands. It's just directed my psychic. Flutter Mane's in a really good position. Because pretty sure we knock out the hands with a Moonblast regardless. Yeah. So we're going to Moonblast the hands. And I want to foul play just in case this hands decides to go for a Terra to survive the Moonblast. Because foul play will then KO the hands. If not, I get an attack redirected to Gothitelle. Or they switch. Like, foul play, a lot of their team is physical. So I wouldn't mind the damage. But here comes a Moonblast. Knocks out the hands. Okay. I guess if they have Psychic, this is or if this is Thunder Wave, this is annoying. Foul play actually does a really good amount to the Gothitelle. I'm able to get a Citrus Berry. Okay. What move are you doing, Gothitelle? Heal Pulse. Okay, nice. Heal Pulse is annoying because of the Scream Tail, but yeah, this is a pretty good position. I wish I could have gotten Toxic Spikes up because it makes the Scream Tail a lot easier to handle if it's Scream Tail is like one at the back. Because I'm just worried about Encore Disable shenanigans, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. Looks like that's the Xian Pao. Okay. That's perfect. All right. Because this is a perfect Terra opportunity. I also still have hands in the back, which is really solid. So I'm going to go for the Terra. Going to go for the Protect with Flutter. And I'm going to go for the Leech Seed into the... I want to target the Gothitelle or do I want to target down the... I could also just foul play because Leech Seed might be greedy. I'll play the... Well, the thing is, I don't want to Moonblast. You know what? Yeah, I'll Leech Seed here. I think this is an okay position. Xian Pao is interesting, so I'm assuming their back isn't the... I mean, we'll see. I don't think the back is going to be Scream Tail then, which is really good. So it's probably one of Dragonite or the Dragapult, which both are completely all right to deal with. I think my Terra is perfectly acceptable with my Wo-Chien. We're going to see Protect from the Xian Pao. Okay. It's got it for my Terra. I see. Leech Seed into the Protect, and we're going to see the Gothitelle go for a Psychic. Okay. Flutter should live Sucker Punch. Let's see. The Gothitelle's only one for Psychic and Heal Pulse. Gothitelle's going down the next turn. I think this is a time to go for Substitute because I do not want to get caught by Helping Hand Sucker Punch. I'd rather take like an Ice Spinner into Psychic into Flutter Mane. So I'm going to Leech Seed the Xian Pao and just sub. They do swap out the Gothitelle. Okay. Into Dragonite? That is Dragonite. Okay. They still have Terra available, so I gotta watch out for that. They do Sucker. Okay, that's an amazing position because now I'm able to get hopefully the Leech Seed so I can break the Sash on the Xian Pao, which would be really good. Okay, nice. Okay. That's a huge Leech Seed into the Xian Pao because that breaks the sub, or it breaks the Sash, which means that now my Flutter Mane can knock out the Xian Pao, which is amazing. Okay. So I'm going to double Protect because I want to scout for a Xian Pao Protect, which I think is 100% worth it. If they attack with the Xian Pao aggressively, I mean, this probably is always Sucker then, right? Which is fine because I still have a sub up with Flutter Mane. At the end of the day, they can only choose between saving the Xian Pao or breaking, or if they save the Xian Pao by protecting always against my Moonblast Dread against the Xian Pao, that means that I always have my sub with Flutter, so Flutter's always surviving the turn. We're going to see a Terra come out for my opponent, which is going to be whatever flying or normal the Dragonite is. It's going to be that normal. Okay. So that means it probably doesn't have Terra Blast. That makes my job a lot easier. Or this also helps out with my hands too, because my hands can actually like threaten the Dragonite. So we're going to double Protect. Let's scout for what they're clicking. Right now, Wo-Chien is in a really good spot. They did protect the Chien Pao. So this might be a Earthquake. I say Earthquake, but the thing is, they usually choice band on that. No, they Aqua Jet. Okay. Sucker Punch and Aqua Jet is definitely not KOing my Flutter Mane with the Sword of Ruin. I don't care. A choice band Dragonite, you are not KOing my Flutter Mane that way. I'm going for the Moonblast into the Chien Pao, and I'm going to go for a Foul Play. Their only out might be to click a Double Protect here and nail it, which is fine by me, because I'll still get huge damage to the Dragonite. They're actually going to retreat to Chien Pao. Okay, that's into the Gothitelle. So Gothitelle goes down, but I'm okay with that because the Dragonite has to be locked into Aqua Jet, right? Like, I don't think they don't run choice band on Terra Normal Dragonite in this case, or they. Okay, so I think it is not choice banded because I think choice band would have broken the sub, but Aqua Jet didn't break my sub. So they just lose the game, I think, guaranteed. I get the Foul Play off into the Dragonite, get some decent chip. Chien Pao. Does Foul Play KO the Dragonite this range? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together. I'm gonna go aggressive and just attack here with the Moonblast and the Foul Play. The Dragonite pretty much, I think, is forced to attack. I don't think they'll protect Dragonite with Aqua Jet. And if the Chien Pao protects, that's fine, because I still get a Foul Play off in the Dragonite. If Foul Play doesn't knock out the Dragonite, it's a 2-shot. They do go for an extreme speed here, actually. Okay. This definitely makes them lose the game then. Oh, they Sucker Punch double up. Okay. Doesn't pick up the knockout because Wo-Chien's still bulky. Moonblast is going to finish off the Chien Pao, picks up the knockout. Beautiful. They were just hoping that I protect Flutter for some reason, and Wo-Chien attacks, which was super ideal for me. So get rid of the Chien Pao. Don't have the Sword of Ruin, but the Foul Play will be probably a 2-shot guaranteed on the Dragonite. Yeah, I would have KO'd with the Sword of Ruin. So yeah, they didn't have any play. If they double up my Flutter Mane, they're not pick up the knockout, and I still get the same board position, really. So yeah, Moonblast gonna KO, Foul Play gonna KO. Wo-Chien really nice there. No Screen Tail made it a lot easier because I felt like Encore Disable locking would have been really annoying. But the thing is, at least I was able to like status the Gothitelle in a way, because statusing the Gothitelle meant that it was really hard for them to actually keep me trapped in because the Gothitelle was taking guaranteed damage. So if we were playing a slow game like an Encore Disable for Struggle, then at least the Gothitelle's on the timer in that case. Flutter Mane, Grey Tusk, Iron Bundle, Dragonite, King Gambit, a Bomb Snow. Okay, this is the snow team that Nick Navarre used to get top 4 at... What region was it? Oh yeah, this was the Portland team. Okay, I don't want to approach this. The Flutter Mane speed booster, so it's a lot less threatening. I think definitely Hands. Hands is giving them a tough time for sure. Hands plus... am I going for like Wo-Chien or... I don't know. Do I want to go Wo-Chien? Because it'd help against the King Gambit and the Tusk, but it's not really great against everything else. I do like Hands here for sure. I think maybe Hands plus the... Ooh, Hands plus Glamora doesn't seem bad here. Then maybe it's Wo-Chien in the back. Flutter gives them a lot of trouble. Chi-Yu can give a decent amount, but the thing is they're usually Terra Fire on the Hands, and I think they are going to Terra Fire Hands, so I don't think it's worth bringing the Chi-Yu. Talonflame could have been brought. I could have went with like Talonflame Chi-Yu, but the problem with Talonflame Chi-Yu is... Was it Icy Wind Flutter? I don't think it was, but I can't really break through Gambit that quickly, which is a problem. Dragonite plus Grey Tusk. Okay. They usually choice band a Terra Normal too, so... I think this ends up working out pretty well. I can go for a fake out into the... They go for a fake out into a slot. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the fake out into the Tusk, because they can go for Earthquake, and that would be scary. Then I would like to get a Toxic off into the Dragonite. Yes. Because if I can Toxic down to Dragonite, it's pretty good for me. I think this is probably stay in. Yeah, they stay in. No Terra, which makes sense because they definitely want to go, I think, for the Toxic default, or they definitely want to go for the Earthquake potentially the following turn. I get the Poison to Dragonite, so we're building up pretty good damage. We're going to see the Outrage come out immediately, and they get my Hands. That's a lot of damage my Hands just took. Okay. Maybe I can't play a slow game against this. Their choice band locked into an attack. I could hope that it get my Glamora, but it might be better. I think it's probably more reliable to just go for a close combat into the Tusk and just Spiky Shield. Yeah, I might have to lose my hands here, which isn't ideal, but I do think we have some other plays that we can make later on in this game. Earthquake's going to come out, pick up the knock on my hands, but I don't want to really risk my Wo-Chien now. So we're going to see the attack here, perfectly fine. Hands goes down. We're going to see the Outrage into the Spiky Shield. So they're going to take some pretty hefty chip damage, which isn't too bad. Okay. The Dragonite's locked in the Outrage. I don't know if they want to stay in, and if they want to Earthquake again, then they have to Earthquake their own partner. So I think my best play is to go Flutter Mane, click Substitute here. I like the idea of Substitute and Earth Power into the Tusk, because they might Terra Steel too. Earth Power also catches, I think, everything on their team for pretty good damage. Yeah. So I'm going to sub here, and I'm going to go for the Earth Power. I don't know if they want to stay in with either of these Pokemon realistically, because locked in the Outrage. Actually, are you force locked in with Dragonite? You might be. The thing is, they know I can threaten a Moonblast potential KO here because I was Speed Booster revealed. On the worst case, I lose like what, Glamora, and I still get the damage in the Tusk. I get Toxic Spikes up, potentially 2 layers. I don't think it's like a bad trade. Let's find out. They do retreat the Tusk, which makes sense. Okay, perfect. Gonna be out into Flutter Mane. Okay, so I get some pretty decent damage into Flutter Mane, which is cool. Like a big Earth Power. All right. Yep, they're also Speed Booster. We are able to get the sub up. Yeah, they double swap, so this is perfect for me. Nice. Iron Bundle. All right. So we're able to get the sub up with the Flutter. And Earth Power chip into their Flutter Mane. Okay, nice. I guess I could double protect here just to scout for what attack they're gonna go for. If they want to go for a, like, what the bundle is spec, so I want to see what they might want to lock into with the bundle itself. Okay, what are they doing with their Flutter? I could also sub with my Flutter Mane and Power Gem, which I think is a pretty good idea. Let's see if they pump or they click something else. They Shadow Ball into my Flutter. Yeah, they attack in my Flutter. They Hydro Pump my Glamora. Okay. Terra goes Shadow Ball. I don't know if it knocks out the bundle. That's my problem. I think I want to stay in normal form. I think I'm gonna throw out the Shadow Ball into their Flutter. And I'm just gonna go for a Power Gem into their bundle, because if they want to knock out the Glamora, they have to pick up the knockout. Oh, I'm faster actually. My Speed Booster Flutter is faster than theirs. That's actually really good. Shadow Ball gonna come out in their Flutter. Does pick up the knockout, so that's huge for me. I actually did not think I would outspeed their Flutter, but that's perfect. Okay, so I am able to get a Power Gem off. Maybe it was a speed tie. Hydro Pump going to come out into the Glamora, which is going to be able to live on 1 HP. KO the bundle back, and now it's Tusk and Dragonite, and they're both choice mons, and this is kind of the weakness of their team. They brought 3 choice Pokemon, and now they're forced to lock in and move, especially since I was able to get knockouts in their frail Pokemon. So bundle is able to eliminate there, and now it is the Dragonite and the Tusk end game. The Dragonite coming out. We are going to see the Tusk. I am going to go for Protect with Flutter, and I am going to go for the Earth Power, I guess, into the Tusk. Yeah. They have to Terra one of these, I'm pretty sure, because Flutter can knock out either one of them realistically. I can definitely knock out, I think, the Tusk with Moonblast naturally. Yeah, they do Terra. They Terra Steel. They have to target down the Glamora. If they don't target down the Glamora, then I get a huge Earth Power off into Tusk, which might actually pick up the knockout, as if the Tusk doesn't have good special defense. So let's see. To protect off with the Flutter. And then I think Wo-Chien cleans up from here. They locked into Aqua Jet. Oh yeah, Wo-Chien. Because I think they don't What did they lock into? They locked in Earthquake. Okay, cool. I think Wo-Chien just wins. They locked into Aqua Jet and Earthquake, and I don't think they were expecting to back Wo-Chien, so I will lose my Glimmora, but at the cost of Wo-Chien being able to seal up this endgame because it's a ground resist. Also an Aqua Jet resist, which is very nice. Yeah, we should seal this one here. So I'm going into Wo-Chien. I'm clicking Shadow Ball into Foul Play the Tusk slot. It should pick up the knockout. I'll also Terra Ghost here for the extra power because my Wo-Chien's never Terraing in this position. Yeah. So I'm just going to Foul Play and Shadow Ball. Because we'll knock out the Tusk guaranteed, and then, yeah. Like, Wo-Chien should win this game anyway. They're both locked into Aqua Jet and the Earthquake, so they can't damage Wo-Chien. I'm getting poison damage on the Dragonite to stall it out too. And yeah, let's see. I mean, even if they do, like, the Aqua Jet here breaks my sub on the Flutter. Like, they would have had to change a team where, like, both aren't the... what's it called? The choice items. And yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. Shadow Ball going to come out into the Tusk. Yeah, almost picks up the knockout, but doesn't. Earthquake is going to come out. Pick up the knockout of Flutter, or am I going to barely survive? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I actually survived probably pretty comfortably. Foul Play going to eliminate the Tusk here. And yes. Okay, perfect. It's actually kind of strange because Wo-Chien was a Pokemon I wasn't too sure. But they didn't bring the snow mode, and that's probably because I had Chi-Yu, and Chi-Yus are really difficult for the snow mode, especially with the heat wave. So I had a feeling they would have to bring at least like maybe the Dragonites and the Tusk, because they wanted threats to... I thought Bundle was 100% coming because Bundle's really good into my team. Tusk was coming because of the Iron Hands. Flutter, yeah. So these are the Pokemon I expected. King Gambit was just the one concern I had, but I did have Hands and the Wo-Chien, which could have gave the King Gambit a little bit of a harder time. The King Gambit was probably the most annoying Pokemon, but yeah, if they didn't Terra, I could always Toxic the King Gambit, which was like back up here. Now I just win by clicking Moonblast and Foul Play and seal it up. So Wo-Chien getting one on the board, and they're not even getting the knockout and a Flutter here. So Moonblast will finish it off. So beautiful. I think it was just really good against like some Pokemon. Like, it wasn't good against the Flutter or the Bundle, but when we eliminated those Pokemon and had only the physical attackers in the back that couldn't touch the Wo-Chien and had to lock in the move, we were in a pretty set position. Torkoal, Jumpluff, Fluttermane, a Great Tusk, Chien-Pao, Dragonite, the classic Sun team that we're all familiar with now. How do I want to approach this? I wonder, the Torkoal I think should be a Eject Pack, although maybe it's the Assault Vest version. The Sun matchup I think for this team is generally pretty good. We have pretty good answers with our Talonflame. We have Glimmora, and then Fluttermane Chi-Yu in the back does really well here. Unfortunately, can't really bring the Wo-Chien in this matchup, but I don't think Wo-Chien ever really wants to come into Sun. Unless I need it absolutely for the ground immunity, but since we have a Talonflame that can just set up Tailwind, there's really no point of that. So we're just gonna go for Tailwinds, Brave Birds, Power Gems, and yeah, we're just gonna fire off attacks here. Let's see what my opponent's response is, because I played a lot against this team on stream when I used this team, and it always felt pretty solid here. We're gonna see the Torkoal plus the Jumpluff lead against my Talonflame and the Glimmora here. I can go for the Terra if I want to with the Glimmora to avoid the Sleep Powder, but I don't think it's really necessary. The Talonflame here, I think I'm just gonna go for a Taunt into the Jumpluff, and I think I'm just gonna Spiky Shield. I could just Power Gem here immediately. I don't know if they're gonna hard swap or not. I'm just worried if they're gonna... The thing is, I don't think Spiky Shield is bad. The problem is they could switch out and get Tusk in the following turn, and the Talonflame Gale Wings could be broken from an Overheat in the Talonflame, which I think is your intended target. Do I want to take the Sleep turn and just get the damage of Torkoal, or do I want to go for the Spiky Shield? I think I'm gonna go for the... I think I'll risk Power Gem. We're gonna see a Terra immediately. This might be Terra on the Jumpluff. Yeah, and a Terra Ghost. So I guess it's not Sash. The Terra Rock to resist a Brave Bird. I have seen that as a common defensive typing. Don't think that means it's Terra Blast. If it's Terra Blast, I'm gonna flip out, but they just go for Tailwind, which is actually really ideal. Okay, so I'm able to get the Taunt off into Jumpluff and the Power Gem into Torkoal. Is this Torkoal faster than Glimmora under Tailwind? I don't think that's possible. Yeah, Power Gem into Torkoal. Let's see if it KOs. It is not enough, but I still got really good damage to Torkoal. They did go for the Overheat play into the Talonflame, and yeah, that's pretty ideal here for me, because my ideal plan was at least getting the damage into Torkoal so I can still KO with Flutter Mane in the back of the late game. Let's see if they go Tusk here, which I'd imagine they do. And if they go Tusk or Flutter Mane, Flutter Mane's interesting, because I don't know if Dazzling Gleam picks up the knockout with Terra Fairy even. Okay. So I don't think it's Sash Jump Up by the way they're playing. They could double up the Glimmora. They need to Shadow Ball if they want to pick up a knock on anything. I'm just going to Tailwind with the Talonflame for sure. But the question is, what am I doing in the back? I think I Tailwind. They already used Terra, so I think I just want to put the Flutter Mane into range or Shadow Ball. Or just chip away the Flutter Mane, because I don't need the Toxic nearly as much. They're going to retreat Jumpluff. This is probably the Tusk. Or Torkoal coming back in is completely fine because it doesn't change any numbers, okay? They do go for Shadow Ball immediately into the Talonflame, which is going to pick up the knockout, but that's fine, right? Because, like, right now, they're stalling out their Tailwind turns, they're stalling out their Sun turns. I get the Power Gem damage off in the Flutter Mane, and now it's in range of the Chi-Yu attack. I can go into Chi-Yu. They're usually specs on this team. Can go for the Heat Wave, knock out the Torkoal, and I can catch whatever on the switch with Earth Power. Because Tusk doesn't want to switch in, or they give me their Flutter Mane, which is also super ideal. I'll gladly take that. So I'm going to go for the Heat Wave, and maybe I just Spiky Shield just in case, because Heat Wave KOs everything except their Jumpluff, and I don't know if they're going to go Jumpluff in this situation, so I'm just going to Spiky Shield. They do retreat the Flutter. Wow. Okay, is this actually the Jumpluff? I thought they were just going to try to break a Sash. Ooh, okay. So I Spiky Shield with Glimmora. Granted, it's not that bad, but they can Encore, which is a problem. Oh, they protect Torkoal. Okay. Now that works. That does work. Although Sleep Powder, I guess, is a new threat. So they have Encore pressure and Sleep Powder pressure. Ooh, that Heat Wave does so much damage to Jumpluff. This is their last turn. Tailwind. I think I want to always make sure Tailwind's denied. The Jumpluff usually doesn't carry Protects. Their whole team is like Flutter weak at this point. So I think I just want to go for an Earth Power and a Jumpluff and Heat Wave. They did Encore, so I could have went into Flutter, but this is okay. It's not that bad. Yeah, this is not that bad. Heat Wave does connect with both, so I am able to knock out the Jumpluff and the Torkoal with Chi-Yu, and now it's Flutter plus the Tusk endgame. Okay. It's going to come down to what they exactly lock in here. Locked into Spiky Shield. Ellen Peters out. Let's see. Because we know it's Flutter Mane in the back. We know it's Great Toss. But what move are they clicking? At least it should be Great Toss. If this is a Dragonite, this could be something, I suppose. Oh, it is Tusk. Yeah, that's what I'd imagine. Okay. So I don't want to risk the Glimmora. So I have two options, right? I want to protect the Chi-Yu because I want to scout for what they're locking in. We're also stalling out the last turn of Sun, and they usually don't have a way to stall out. So I think my play is always to protect the Chi-Yu. The question is, what am I doing with the Glimmora? Do I switch out and risk the Flutter Mane, or do I stay in and just Spiky Shield? I think I just Spiky Shield because I just want to scout for what they're going to play, and then afterward, I think I should be okay. Let's see. I'm really hoping that the Tusk locks into... If they don't lock in a Headlong Rush or Close Combat, then I think I could always just Shadow Ball their Flutter Mane for the victory. But if they... Yeah, because it's Scarf on the Tusk, they do go for the Headlong Rush and the Chi-Yu. Perfect. And it's just Shadow Ball and the Glimmora. Or Moonblast in the Glimmora. Okay. Or into Chi-Yu. Okay, so they doubled the Chi-Yu. That's fine. Sunlight fades, so they don't have the attack boosting anymore. I don't want to ever Terra the Chi-Yu. I'm saving my Terra for probably the Flutter Mane. So we're going to go for a Heat Wave. I guess this is the last turn of Encore. We're just going to go for our Spiky Shield once again. And yeah, if we fail, that's cool. It doesn't really change anything here. Headlong Rush into the Glimmora, actually. Okay. So the Moonblast has to KO the Flutter Mane or they do just lose the game. All right. Let's see. Moonblast gonna come out. Okay, we confirm it is specs on the Flutter Mane 100%. What does more damage here? Super effective Gleam? I think it does. We're going our own Flutter Mane here. We have the speed booster. Oh no, wait, no, we're Moonblast on our Flutter, so we should have the sealed. Yeah, we should have the sealed, right? Because we are Moonblast. Yeah, we are Moonblast. So I can Moonblast Tusk. We know it's Scarf because it outspent their Flutter. Unless that like Flutter has like a negative speed nature or not perfect speed IVs and the Tusk is max speed. There's no way. We already saw their Terra on the jump off earlier, so we could just go for a Power Gem in the Flutter Mane. And Moonblast the Tusk is super safe. So Moonblast is able to knock out the Tusk, able to finish it off. And now their Flutter Mane with choice specs doesn't have enough firepower to come back in this, I think. Let's see. Moonblast. Scratch that from the record. That's a silly way to lose, but that is Pokemon for you. There wasn't really anything I could do. There was no Terras that changed the position. Yeah, there was literally nothing that I could do. I literally think I played to my best. Well, I did play to like a win con that's like pretty much except the crit, but happens. I guess like the only turn I could evaluate is switching out to Glimmora. I was just worried that they sleep powdered the Chi-Yu there because I felt like if you sleep powder the Chi-Yu, it makes sense because you're losing both Pokemon there. But I guess that's maybe what my opponent wanted was useless slots that I'm locked into. But yeah, I do think that we did have that pretty much all the time, bar credit. I do think it was worth going for that win con right there. All right, let's go to games. Game 1, great start being able to Toxic the Gothitelle and getting an early knockout on Iron Hands meant Wo-Chien with Terra was very strong alongside the free substitute with the Flutter Mane in the end. Game 2, losing Iron Hands early wasn't amazing, but being able to force them into an awkward spot with Pokemon locked into choice items let me get momentum alongside a double knockout, allowing Wo-Chien to win the end game. Game 3, strong start and was able to do very well with the early Terra on their jump love, but the crit unfortunately cost us the end. Could have made the Encore read from Glimmora and swap, but risking the win con on a call out with Sleep Powder wasn't worth risking. Yeah, this team is really strange. It has like a kind of a combination with like a stallish mode, but it's mainly just getting chip damage to clean up for endgame Flutter Mane as well as Chi-Yu. And yeah, it has a lot of weird modes that I don't know, don't look well together on paper, but it ends up working well as a concept when actually using the team. If you do want to try out, there's a rental code on the screen. You can check it out, as well as the details of the team indicated down below the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.